Welcome back to Cowboys News TV, your go-to source for everything Dallas Cowboys. Today, we're diving into a topic that's on every Cowboys fan's mind as we head into the bye week, the running game. Or should I say, the lack of it. 6 games into the season, the Cowboys' run game is struggling, and ESPN just suggested an intriguing trade that could help Dallas turn things around. But before we break it all down, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We're on a mission to hit 12,000 subscribers, and every single one of you makes a difference in helping us get there. So join the Cowboys News TV family, and let's make it happen together. Now, let's talk about this trade idea. ESPN's Bill Barnwell has pitched a potential deal between the Cowboys and the Chicago Bears for running back Khalil Herbert. Would this move fix our issues on the ground, or is it just a band-aid solution? Let's break it down. First off, I want to know what you think. Are you happy with how the Cowboys have handled the running game so far? Drop a comment below and let me know. And while you're at it, vote in our poll. Should the Cowboys trade for a running back like Herbert, or should we focus on other positions? I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Now, back to Khalil Herbert. Herbert is currently the third-string back for the Bears, stuck behind DeAndre Swift and Roscoe Johnson. His numbers this season aren't great, just 16 yards on 8 rushes. But don't let that fool you, Herbert is no slouch. He rushed for 731 yards in 2022 and 611 in 2023, averaging an impressive 4.9 yards per carry over the last 3 seasons. That's actually 7th best among all backs with at least 300 carries between 2021 and 2023. Let that sink in for a minute. Now, let's dive deeper into what Bill Barnwell had to say. He points out that Herbert isn't a Derrick Henry-type back who's going to carry the ball 20 times a game. But he is explosive. Out of 46 running backs with over 300 carries in recent seasons, Herbert ranked 11th in rushing yards over expected, meaning he has a knack for turning average plays into big gains. And what's one thing the Cowboys desperately need right now? Big plays. Our longest run of the season so far? A measly 12 yards. Herbert, meanwhile, has had 24 runs for 13 yards or more in his first 3 seasons. That kind of explosiveness could add a new dynamic to the Cowboys' offense, even if Herbert just becomes a part of a rotation with Rico Dowdle. Speaking of Dowdle, he's had a quiet start to the season, and it's clear the Cowboys could use more firepower in the backfield. Adding a guy like Herbert could push Dowdle and give the team a fresh set of legs. As Barnwell noted, Herbert might not be a workhorse, but he could be the spark we need to kickstart the run game. What do you think, Cowboys Nation? Would Herbert be a good fit, or should we be looking at other options? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss it. So, what would it take to bring Khalil Herbert to Dallas? According to ESPN, the Cowboys could potentially snag Herbert for a 2025 6th-round pick. That's a low-risk move for a back who's clearly out of favor in Chicago, playing just 27 offensive snaps this season and not touching the ball since Week 3. But here's the kicker, Herbert's contract expires at the end of this season. So if the Bears are planning to move on from him in 2025 anyway, why not get something for him now? It's a win-win for Chicago, and Dallas could get a dynamic playmaker without breaking the bank. Do you think Jerry Jones should pull the trigger on this trade? Should the Cowboys make a move before the November 5th trade deadline, or should they stay put and trust the current roster to figure things out? Let us know in the comments. With the trade deadline fast approaching and the Cowboys sitting at a critical point in the season, it's clear something needs to change in the run game. Ezekiel Elliott has been phased out of the rotation, and the combination of Rico Dowdle and Tony Pollard hasn't delivered the results fans were hoping for. Khalil Herbert might not be the complete answer, but he could add that much-needed burst of speed and big play ability. If you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a Cowboys update. Your subscription is what keeps this channel growing, and we're closing in on our goal of 12,000 subscribers. Help us get there. Now, Cowboys fans, we all know this season hasn't exactly gone as planned, especially when it comes to the running game. We've seen some sparks here and there, but the consistency just hasn't been there. And if we're being honest, that's something that needs to change fast. Sitting at 3-3, the Cowboys are staring down a pivotal point in the season. The NFC East is always competitive, and every win, every play, and yes, every trade can make or break our playoff hopes. But let me ask you this, do you think the running game is the Cowboys' biggest issue right now? Or is it something else, maybe the offensive line, maybe the play calling? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to get your take on what the Cowboys need to address the most as we move forward. And hey, while you're typing out your thoughts, don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying the video so far. It really helps us out with YouTube's algorithm, and of course, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Cowboys news. Let's get back to the running game and look at some numbers to really highlight where the Cowboys are struggling. Through the first 6 games of the season, Dallas is averaging just 3.6 yards per carry. That puts us near the bottom of the league, 28th to be exact. And get this, our running backs have combined for just 2 rushing touchdowns all season. 2. That's it. It's no wonder there's talk about bringing in reinforcements. The question is, would Khalil Herbert be enough to give this offense the jolt it needs, or should the Cowboys be aiming higher? Let's compare Herbert to our current backs for a second. In his 2022 season, Herbert averaged 5.7 yards per carry, which is a number none of our current running backs have come close to this season. Even though Herbert has been pushed down the depth chart in Chicago, his past performances show that he has the ability to make an impact. His 189 rushing yards over expected in the past 2 seasons highlight his knack for making something out of nothing. That's a skill Dallas could desperately use right now. So, Cowboys Nation, let's take a vote. If you had to choose between sticking with our current running backs or trading for a fresh face like Khalil Herbert, what would you do? Type stick with Rico and Pollard if you think we should stay the course, or type bring in Herbert if you're ready for a change. I can't wait to see where everyone stands on this one. And while we're at it, let's not forget about Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke has been a Cowboy for a long time, and while his role has clearly diminished this season, we know he can still make plays. Should the Cowboys be using him more, or is his time in the spotlight truly over? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, when we talk about the running game, it's not just about the running backs. The offensive line plays a huge role, and right now, we've seen some issues there as well. Injuries have shuffled things around, and the consistency hasn't been there. Let's not forget that the Cowboys' O-line used to be one of the most dominant units in the NFL, paving the way for Zeke to lead the league in rushing multiple times. But fast forward to 2024, and things have changed. Tyron Smith has been in and out with injuries, Zach Martin is still solid, but he's not getting any younger, and Terrence Steele has had his ups and downs. All of this contributes to the struggles in the run game. If the Cowboys don't get the O-line back on track, it won't matter who's running the ball, there just won't be any holes to run through. Here's another question for you. Should the Cowboys focus on fixing the offensive line before making any trades for running backs? Type O-line first if you think the line needs to be the priority, or type trade for a back if you think adding a dynamic runner is the answer. Your opinion matters, and I'm excited to see how you all feel about this one. Now, let's talk about the reality of the trade deadline. We all love to dream big. Imagine if the Cowboys could land a star like Derrick Henry or another top-tier back. But here's the truth, those kinds of blockbuster trades are rare, especially in the middle of the season. Most teams are hesitant to let go of their best players unless they're in full rebuild mode. That's why a guy like Khalil Herbert makes sense. He's not going to be a 20-carry-a-game workhorse, but he adds value as a rotational piece. And with his contract expiring soon, the Bears have little incentive to keep him. It's a low-risk, potentially high-reward move that could give the Cowboys exactly what they need, a spark. And that leads me to another question. Would you rather the Cowboys go all in and try for a big-name running back, or make a smaller move like trading for Herbert? Type go big if you want a star, or type keep it simple if you think a role player like Herbert is the better option. I'm looking forward to seeing how you all vote on this one. Remember, if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe to Cowboys News TV. We're so close to reaching our goal of 12,000 subscribers, and your support helps us continue to bring you the best Cowboys coverage out there. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. As we approach the trade deadline, the Cowboys have to make some tough decisions. We're still in the playoff hunt, but improvements need to be made, especially on the ground. Whether it's Khalil Herbert, another running back, or even an upgrade to the offensive line, something needs to change if the Cowboys are going to make a deep run this year. And don't forget, this isn't just about this season. The Cowboys need to think long-term as well. Ezekiel Elliott isn't going to be around forever, and Tony Pollard is coming off an injury-plagued 2023. Building a sustainable run game is crucial for the Cowboys' future success. Before we wrap up, I want to thank all of you for watching and being part of the Cowboys News TV community. We appreciate your comments, your likes, and of course, your subscriptions. Don't forget to keep the conversation going in the comments section. Your opinions make this channel what it is. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and help us reach our goal of 12,000 subscribers. We're almost there. Stay tuned for more Cowboys updates, trade rumors, and in-depth analysis as we head into the second half of the season. Until next time, keep the faith, Cowboys Nation, and we'll see you in the next video.